Hello, everybody. Have you ever had a day that was just fantastic that you couldn't have asked for anything else, and then it took a shit, and then the following day was pretty decent, and then it took a shit? That's where I'm at. 2 days in a row of my bipolar and my borderline are just out of whack. I am just ready to burst. And I just don't really know what to do about it. You just have this intense feeling in your chest that you're just going to explode. And, and it's not even my fault. I'm trying to fix things. And, oh, did I say Amazon? Oh, I must have skipped that. But yesterday was a really good day. I'll try to make it short. As short as I can anyway. It's a pretty long story. It could be, but I'm just going to try to wrap it up because it was great until it wasn't. I'm sure you have days like that. And look at me. I'm just hell on wheels. So, probably about a week ago, I wrote to my children's former pediatrician because 11 months ago I saw that his wife passed away. And when my son, who's deceased, he died when he was 8, when he was about 3, I took him to see the pediatrician. And he was wearing his Casper the Friendly Ghost underwear. And when you turn off the lights, Casper glows. And it's hilarious. He glows in the dark. So I was telling his pediatrician about it at the visit, and he didn't believe it. So he went and turned off the light, and sure enough, he glowed. So I thought to cheer him up, I would send him a letter reminding him of that moment. Now, mind you, I haven't seen him in probably 26 years. So I wrote him a letter and sent it to the clinic, not knowing whether or not he still worked there, but I knew they'd find a way to get it to him because, his wife had just passed away, and I'm sure he got other letters and whatever. So I sent the letter and explained some things in it and reminded him of the story and left my phone number just in case he decided to call. He told me, though, he would have wrote me back if I didn't leave my number. So last night I'm just chilling out, watching TV, and my phone rings, and it's him. And I answered, "Are you going to make me cry?" Because he just made me feel really appreciated. And he talks 1,000 miles an hour. I mean, I've never heard anybody talk so fast. And now I moved to a different state as well as he moved to a different state. But he said if we're ever, in the state, in the area to visit, I mean, he's so sweet. And we talked for 2.5 hours. I taught him things. He taught me things. I didn't know why his wife passed away. Turns out she had borderline personality disorder. And I told him, so do I. So we had kind of a bonding moment over something really sad. But he taught me a lot of things. He pointed me in the direction of some books and some things to read. And he said I was really smart and that I was sweet. And he gave me compliments. And he said, he only talks to about 10 people down where he moved. And he said if it wasn't for his son, he probably wouldn't be here. And I know how that feels because that's how I felt when my son passed away. But anyway, it was 2.5 hours of just him just going to town. Like, he hasn't talked to anybody, like, in years. And anyway, so that was very pleasant. I was very happy that he called me back. It made me feel really, I didn't write him for my benefit, and I gave him a lot of time, because when you lose somebody like that, you're inundated with attention and sympathy and all that. You're just overwhelmed. So I gave him quite a bit of time before I wrote him. And and I said to him, did you notice that I didn't give you my condolences in the letter? And I know that might sound awkward to the layman, but if you lose somebody and you get so much sympathy and you get so much, you just go into overdrive of, I've had enough already, just let me move on, in essence. um you just hear the same stuff over and over, that you just don't want to hear it anymore. And it sounds ungrateful, but it's not that. It's just you get overloaded by it. So I have the grid on here. I'm on a different program, but I'm using my webcam, and I'm going to get why. I believe it was the webcam, not the webcam, but the program I was using to record that was causing issues. So I changed programs and seemed to be doing really well with it. And then last night, I was so overjoyed, I wanted to come up and make a video about it, my conversation with him, my phone call with him. And I got 10 or 15 minutes in, and the battery took a shit. So there went my day, from just high to low, the big fuck you. So I just put the camera away, put the battery on the charger, and walked away. I didn't even try to resume a video. So tonight I'm like, I don't even want to deal with that damn thing, because he has to have a tripod and do all this fancy shit. I just didn't want to deal with it. I'm not in the mood at all. So I just took a big deep breath and a Xanax. And so I was going to try to pick up where I left off on last night's video, but it was getting long, and then the battery died, and then I was pissed off, and I just had enough. And I don't even know what I did. And I fell asleep and slept in my chair. My edema's back in my legs that I can hardly walk. And I don't want to call the doctor because I don't want to take more pills. But I'm not going to have a choice, because I'm not going to be able to walk, and they worry about all sorts of medical things that can happen if you have severe edema. I'm just putting it off, because right now my plate is over full. And being winter and being cold is just not good. Saw my therapist today. Joy. If I have time, I'll get into that, because I don't want this to be a big ass long video of me pissing, moaning, whining, bitching, complaining. You get the drift. So then there's today. Had to run this errand, had my appointment with my therapist, which I called him out about the HIPAA incident. And he's like, nobody got a hold of you about that? And I said, no, because I went to Congress. I went way above everybody's head, thanks to a lady who knows how to do this stuff. And he had me fill out a form, and I filled it out, and we'll see what happens there. And I talked to my therapist about it, and he's like, nobody got a hold of you? They didn't talk to you? And I said, no. Oh, well, they talked to me. I'm like, oh, really? Isn't that fascinating? Wasn't too happy about that. I believe I am going to go somewhere else because I'm sick of their bullshit. I've heard about it since we moved here, and I wanted to kind of, because it's close. It's only 8 miles away. So I figured, I'll try to find some place close and good enough. And it's gotten to the point where I see my psychiatrist or trying to get me off the Xanax. So she puts me on diazepam while I'm on Xanax. After pulling me off Xanax altogether. After realizing withdrawals can kill you, stupid bitch. And getting a second opinion of another psychiatrist. So then I see her every 3 months. So for 3 months, she can't find out or doesn't give a shit how I'm doing, if I'm doing better. I don't know what to do next. So I just continue to do the same fucking thing. And I believe this rage, outrage, whatever, is part of the borderline. Fine. If that's what it is, and I piss and moan bitch, it makes me feel better, which it really doesn't. It makes me feel about the same. So be it. And I went with David yesterday or the day before because I don't believe he has rage. I believe that the psychiatrist who was leaving the practice just slapped him with a label. Because when I looked up borderline, and I know about borderline, and I look up the symptoms, he has a majority of them. So I think she just wanted to get things done easy and slapped him with a label of rage. And so I went to his therapist with him and read it off, the whole list, to her. And then she says, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm going to see you one more time." So she kind of just overlooked what I had to say. She turned away from me and just faced him. And he said that wasn't like her to act that way, but she acted like our former psychiatrist who was leaving. I know I'm leaving. Fuck you. I don't care. So he's already been assigned another therapist that's there. And I'll probably go along, or he will talk to her about the incident that I believe he also has borderline personality disorder because of how he is and how he acts. It's not an act, so I shouldn't call it acting. But how he is. He's pretty much not any different than me. I'm so pissed off right now. And then Amazon. So I ordered something from Amazon and I got it and sent it back December 10th. And you have 30 days. So I kept messaging them, asking them about where's my refund because I had sent the product back. And they kept saying they didn't get it and I'm not going to get a refund until they get it, yada, yada. And I sent it USPS, had David send it. I don't remember getting a tracking number, but we stopped by tonight and I got all that information. So I get on with Amazon. I can't understand what the fuck they're saying. And by law, we're allowed to ask for somebody who can speak clear English. I was refused. And he hung up on me. I think I had them call me 5 or 6 times, and every single time they hung up on me. I tried chatting. They had to disconnect the chat. And then they claim it was over 30 days. Today was 30 days. Then they said in one email, and I have the email, and I quoted it in chat, that they got the item, but they claim that they didn't. And it's $85. It's not like $5. It's $85 and change. So I was fighting with them for hours after we got home. And finally I said, fuck it. I threw the camcorder in the bag. I put my phone on Don't Fuck With Me. And now I'm just venting here, because this is where making the videos helps me feel better. Letting it out. Sharing it maybe with other people who get as frustrated, get as angry, get as irritated. Gets the same way. This is not like me. But my medication is fucked up. I'm getting advice from a pediatrician. He's fantastic. But for real, he was like, at your age, you should be doing this and that, because you need vitamin D. You get that from the sun, because I have a sun lamp and it don't work for shit. But you need vitamin D, so you go outside to be in the sun. But being winter, you're all bundled up, so you're not getting any vitamin D. So he's, telling me get a multivitamin for women over my age. I said, what, silver? Because they make Centrum silver. And he's like, and then take 2 of these. And he's giving me advice. It's so funny. And I said to him, you told me don't give the kids like vitamins because the iron will constipate them. I never told you that. So maybe it was a different doctor, or he forgot. I don't know. But we, went back and forth, and he was pretty funny. And we just had a wonderful conversation. And he told me I could call him anytime. And I don't think I will, because I don't get to talk. But no, he's just going through the stages of grief. But I think he's in denial. I really do. But he just really enjoyed our conversation. I should check how long this is, because I've just been going off the hook. And I need to shower. I need a bath. We don't have a bathtub. I should ask the neighbor. I always wanted to ask the neighbor if I could use her bathtub, but I'm too embarrassed. But it's just like, this happens and it's great. Followed up by a fuck off. Followed up by a awesome. By a fuck you. Excuse my language, but for real. I speak my mind. I don't hide my feelings. Never have, never would, never will. And if you don't understand the frustration, then you've never lived it. But to try to understand, I always say, trying to explain mental illness is like trying to explain the color orange to a blind person. You just can't. I just am. We have gummies. We have THC, CBD, and then another 3 letters. I don't know. We have gummies. I've been wanting to just take one, just to sit and veg and watch YouTube and just make the world fuck off for a while. Because, what I mentioned were things that were just things. There's a lot more going on. You get your electric bill every month. It's $96. We're on the budget. End of the year, January, we get the bill and it's $303. Excuse me, we're on disability. Where the hell are we supposed to come up with that? Luckily, this state provides energy assistance. Unlike the state we came from, they have you go to churches and beg. Here, you go fill out a little bit of paperwork. take along a little bit of information, they paid off the whole shit. So we're not going to go back on the budget because we're not going to end up in this situation next year. And I'm going to quit because knowing my luck, well, it's saying that the microphone's still working. It's a different program. It's a program that actually goes with this webcam. I was using a different one because it had different settings, and you just want to go, fuck my life. My skin is dry. My bearded dragon that I cuddle with at night watching TV, he's hibernating for up to 4 months or so. I don't get to hold him. I don't get to cuddle with him. I cuddle with my female, and she was happy. I cuddled with her up here before when I was trying to deal with Amazon. And I used to go to Amazon with everything. I'd go to them with a problem, and it would be boom, they would take care of it. You're better off shopping at Temu, even though I've heard Temu's taking a shit now too. So where am I going to go to get replacement batteries for my computer? My camcorder. I had them picked out at Amazon because I have Prime. Prime doesn't even matter anymore. You're nothing special. You're going to get fucked over just like the next guy. As you can tell, it's been a little rough. So I just try to take a deep breath. I told David if he hears any loud crashing up here, don't come in. I warned him. Because the camcorder is awesome. It's a Canon, and it's awesome. But you got to set it up on a tripod, and you got to do all this. I just did not feel like dealing with it. My webcam, I threw up on a piece of wood. He made me this, it's like a stack of wood to make it so the cam was higher. And I throw it up there. I turn on the program. I readjust so I'm in the middle kind of, and hit go for it. It's a lot easier just when you're in a pinch, when you don't feel like fiddling around with shit. Trust me, I don't feel like fiddling around with nothing. And then we have the puppies up for adoption because we can't handle it, and they're beating up on our older dogs, and it's just, I understand. I've tried to commit suicide. Now I understand why people do. And no, that's not a threat saying I'm going to. I'm saying I get it now more than ever. And it's nothing new that I don't want to deal with this shit and I don't want to be here. That's nothing new. The professionals know that. I hope this didn't ruin your night. I hope you laugh. I hope you think that I'm a joke. I hope you think it's fucking funny. I really do. Because I know when I rewatch it, because I do, and I make sure that, the audio and everything is good before I publish it, I'm probably going to laugh because I'm going to go eat a gummy. So anyway, have a great weekend. I just realized Friday, and I'm like, it matters, but it's Friday. So, I hope you have a better weekend than I did a week. It was just one thing after another. His TV took a shit. So I got his old TV up here. It works when it wants. Can't ask for much more. 65-inch. I can listen to my music videos because music, that's what I need right now is some Linkin Park. That's what I really need. When I am going to stop here, I'm going to turn the TV on and I'm going to listen to some Linkin Park. I have Bluetooth speakers. I have a massive Bluetooth speaker and it rocks. But I don't have Linkin Park on there because I just don't. Okay, I just don't. So I'm going to put on YouTube, and I've got a whole playlist there of Linkin Park. And I guess hasta la vista, baby.